Now we shall discuss the nomenclature of a screw thread. So this is basically a screw thread which is consisting of a helical groove which is cut over the surface. So if you see this in this way, if you take a bolt and see with your naked eye, you will see like this, and it consists of some hills and valleys like this on both sides. Here these hills are called as crests, C-R-E-S-T, crest. Hills are called as crest, and this uppermost portion is called as root, R-O-O-T. See, this is the uppermost portion. See, I will mark crest with this color. So these are the crests and these are the roots. So the topmost portion is called as crest and the bottommost portion is called as root. Okay? Well, and now these bolts can be specified by mentioning the diameter. There are two types of diameters here. The first one is major diameter and minor diameter. There are two types of diameters. So here the distance between two crests, so one crest on one side and another crest on another side. If you take these two crests and if you measure the distance between these two crests, that is called as major diameter. What is the name of it? Major diameter. And it is also called as nominal diameter. So what is the another name? Nominal diameter. So major diameter or outside diameter or nominal diameter. Similarly, if you measure the distance between two crests, one side of the two roots, so one root on one side and another root on the other side, then the distance between these two, if you measure like this, see, if you measure like this, then this distance is called as minor diameter or root diameter. Okay? So this is minor diameter or root diameter, and it is also called as core diameter. So the major diameter is the distance between two crests. The minor diameter is the distance between two roots. The major diameter is also called as nominal diameter. The minor diameter is also called as core diameter or root diameter. Right? Now, there is another term called as pitch. Now, take one side of the bolt. The distance between two consecutive crests. The distance between two consecutive crests. That means, see, this is one crest and this is another crest. So these two are consecutive, means side by side. Okay? So the distance between these two crests is called as pitch. The bolt is a screw thread is specified by the pitch and the diameter. So pitch is the distance between two consecutive crests or roots. So, or otherwise you can take the roots also. See, the distance between this root and this root, this is also equal to pitch. Both are same. So pitch is the distance between two consecutive crests or roots. But it is not the distance between one crest and one root. Don't think like that. Between two crests or two roots. So that is called as pitch. And if you take a single start thread, what is starting I will tell you next. If you take a single start thread, pitch is the distance moved by one revolution. So it is the distance moved by the bolt in one revolution. Okay, I will tell you about this later. Okay, for the time being, the pitch is the distance between two consecutive roots or crests. Okay. Now, if you want to find out the core diameter, if you are given with the major diameter and the pitch, then there is a formula Now the mission starts. D minus 1.732p. Yeah, I have not explained about this D and DC. Here the major diameter or nominal diameter is represented by the letter D, and the core diameter or root diameter is represented by the letter DC, and the pitch is by P. Okay. So here DC, that means the core diameter or minor diameter, can be determined by using this formula, where D is the major diameter and P is the pitch. Okay, note it down. Now another term called as flank. So flank is the surface which joins the crust and root. See here, if this is the thread profile, so this is the same thread profile. I have drawn it in a magnified view. Okay, so these are the crusts. Okay, and these are the roots. Now the surface which joins the crust and root is called as flank. So that is called as flank. Now the angle between two consecutive flanks is called as thread angle. See, if this is one flank, this is another flank, this is one flank, and this is another flank. The angle between two consecutive flanks is called as thread angle. Is it clear? Now there is one more diameter called as effective diameter. So it is the effective diameter, or also called as pitch diameter. Effective diameter or the pitch diameter. So it is the diameter where the width of the tooth is equal to the space between the successive teeth. See, this is one teeth, this is another teeth. Okay, so the space between the successive teeth means this is the space between the successive teeth, and this is the width of the teeth. Of course, this width is not uniform. Is it clear? So here the width is maximum, and if you go like this, the width will be decreasing. Similarly, the space is minimum here, and if you go upward, the space will be increasing. So effective diameter is measured where the width of the thread and the space between two threads is equal. So that means if you take at the center point, for example, at this point this width is equal to this space. Is it right or not? So here this width is not equal to space. Here also this width is not equal to space. So at the center point the width is equal to the space. So at that space, if you measure the diameter, see here, at this point, this is the space and this is the width. This is the space and this is the width. Now if you measure the diameter between these two, so that is called as effective diameter or pitch diameter. So it is the diameter where the width, it is the diameter measured when the width of the teeth and the space is equal. The width of the space is equal. That is called as effective diameter. And have seen flank, crest. Now lead. The next term is lead. Lead is the distance moved by the thread for one revolution of the thread. For example, if we have taken a nut and you have taken a bolt like this and you are inserting, you are rotating this. So as you rotate it, it will move inwards. Now, if you rotate this nut by one revolution, how much distance travel the nut is or the bolt is traveled into the nut? So that distance is called as lead. And the value of lead is equal to the pitch for a single start thread. In case of double start thread, it is equal to 2 times the pitch. In case of triple start thread, it is equal to 3 times the pitch. If the thread consists of n starts, if the bolt consists of n start threads, then lead is equal to n into p. Then what is meant by start? Let us take an example. See, we know that thread is a helical groove which is cut over the surface. See, let me explain. So this is the surface or the shank surface on which the thread profile has to be cut. Now we have cut a groove like this. One helical groove like this. Okay, so this is called as, if it consists of a single helical groove, then that is called as single start thread. So single start thread means, it consists of a single helical groove. If you need a double start thread, then in between you will cut another groove like this. So there is a space between these two. So in that you will cut another groove like this. So it is the groove which is cut between the spacing of the initial groove. Then this is called as double start. Now this consists of 2 starts. If another groove is also made in between, then that is nothing but 3 start. Say, let me explain this rope example. Now you have taken one rope and you have made it in spiral form around this. Now you have taken another rope and you have started winding it in spiral form in the spaces. Now this is 2 started. If you take another rope and winding it, then that is called as 3 started. That is triple start thread. In case of single start thread, if you rotate this, if you rotate the bolt, it will move into the nut by the distance equal to the pitch. But in case of double start thread, if you rotate it, it will move into the nut by a distance equal to the 2 times of the pitch. If you use triple start, then it will move by a distance equal to the 3 times of the pitch. So when will we use this? Double start or triple start? When this advancement is quicker. When you need, this advancement is quicker. Generally, just if you rotate it, it will move slowly. But if you rotate it, for one rotation, if you had to be moved a more distance, then you have to go for multi-start threads. So, for a double start thread will move a distance double the single start thread. Similarly, a triple start thread will move a distance triples the single start thread for one revolution. So that's why if you want to engage the nut quickly engage the bolt quickly into the nut, then you have to go for the multi-start threads. Is it clear? So this is about starts and lead. Well, now I have explained the thread angle, and now the last one is the depth of the screw. Depth of the screw means it is the distance, the perpendicular distance between the crest and root. So this distance is called as depth. It is the perpendicular distance between crust and root. Say these crust and root. The vertical distance is called as depth. So this is the nomenclature of a screw profile.